अबे हाँ मेरे को पोर्टल पे यही क्लास दिख रहा था बट मैं कंफ्यूज हो गया क्योंकि पोर्टल पे ये नहीं दिख रहा था हाँ और वो टाइम टेबल में ये ना ये
मेरा CNT मतलब कम्युनिकेटिव इंग्लिश क्योंकि मेरा अलग टेक्स्ट बुक है ना
अरे यार
ऐसे सोचता था
हाँ ना
पूरा 8 8:30 बजे तो भी तू पहुंचा
8:30 बजे उठता मैं हाँ मेरे 9 बज रहा था 9 को निकलता घर से
मेरे को तो समझ नहीं सवाल होते
इधर बीच में क्या करेगा
मैम मतलब ग्रामर पढ़ाई की तो मैं तो रहूंगा ही सब ग्रामर
हाँ
तो सेम
पढ़ाई
रहता है
है शायद
अगर नहीं पढ़ाई क्यों इनके साइकिल जब आपको तो ट्रेन में तो उधर चला जाऊंगा वापस सो लूंगा आधा घंटा का नींद लूंगा
दिन मन नहीं लगता वापस आने
ये सभी भेज रहे हैं क्योंकि
That's maybe
See, Bhavya, you got such good friends.
Hey, Leo.
Now you know what. Now you sit behind because Bhavya will be. See, no, what happens with English? No, there are two different textbooks. So you really have to call her up and ask what. Like whether you have to come at 7:30 or 9:15. You could have said no.
Called me yesterday. Ma'am called me yesterday.
Yeah, she sent message to everyone.
But actually, what is that? In that timetable put na, there is a class for 7:30 to 9.
Yes, that is what I had told. That let you people come first and Bhavya can come in by 9:15.
And in the portal's timetable, there is a class of next class.
Yes, but then that's what ma'am said that if I call you people first and the group is big, what will you do for next 1.5 hours? So it's better Bhavya comes late and then you all can sit to the next class that is Hindi, right? So therefore it was decided. So from next time onwards, check with her first. Okay, I'll try to keep 3 hours class, but somebody will have to come little late. Let's suppose if I take grammar first, then and I decide to take text later, then either you will have to go or Bhavya will have to go. So therefore you will be called, mostly you will be called late. Mostly.
Well, the second class like
Second
you
class
teach grammar or
Is do you stay very close from here?
yes ma'am.
Do you want to go home?
Yes.
Oh, when is your car?
Ma'am, because like Modals I don't have in my exams. In my exam is PT1. I don't have Modals.
What did you say?
Ma'am,
Modal
in the portal it's showing that in the second English class you will teach Modal, that is grammar
Oh,
topic.
no. I don't go by revise them. Please, I usually tell you know beforehand what I'm going to do.
So that I'm asking like, should I go home or you'll teach grammar?
Next
Yeah.
class. See, I like to continue. So if I finish your lesson today, then I
One
will
chapter,
teach them.
like
Yeah,
I
if
have
I-
only two
No,
chapters.
but if I don't finish your lesson, then next time I will teach your lesson only, no? So it depends on what you are doing today.
अगर मैं साइन नहीं करता हूँ
See, it depends on you, Bhavya, whether you want to go home and come back after 1.5 hours or you don't mind sitting here.
See, if you teach my grammar,
I want to teach grammar because I'm
yeah, so
teaching
I'll go home
text.
and what I'll do.
I thought I'll give you a few questions. No?
Ma'am, one second.
then half an hour you will go
No, I'll.
then again half an hour you will
1.5 hours.
you will just get 15 minutes to sleep
No, ma'am.
30 minutes is
No,
the
we
class.
have
No?
classes of 5 to 8 minutes here.
And he has 1 hour 30 minutes. I don't know, you will also have to wait for 1 hour 30 minutes. It's okay, no? So, should I give you some questions? Are you wide awake? Did you learn those answers that we had done last time? So you are prepared. When I give the class test, general class test, we did the first lesson. Remember we did those 2 poems? Are you still asleep? Were you there last time? Did you write all the answers? I gave one standard. You were no last time.
So, ma'am, you go for grammar at home and
What about I finished 2 lessons, 2 poems?
I mean, was for that grammar which was with that paragraph writing.
Yeah, but then didn't you do the 2? Weren't you there for 2?
this is my third class
Please finish 1 lesson.
on the first day we completed this
Yeah,
and for the second class I was absent and this is my third class
this is my 4th class. Anna?
Oh, listen. Oh, yeah, the last
You
week I
did
was.
not come, yeah.
Last 2 weeks I did.
Yeah. We finished 2 lessons, 2 poems. You have the book, poems. Have you written the answers that I dictated? So in that case, you read the lesson. You know both the lessons. Lecture, you know, and then the other one, letter to God. God made lecture. Or what was surgery? Plan for surgery. That also you know. The poems. That's just like snow and you know all the answers also. तुम तो भाई बड़े ready हो. So I dictated few answers. At least write them. Like I told them, like if you write this answer, it's like मैंने भी पूरा लिखा नहीं है. There are the question answer for the lessons. Right. I have written and given that contains that in the poem. Also put contains in the poem. That's also. Points लिखने दिए थे ना? अभी कहाँ से लिखोगे? He will not have. He has a different textbook. I wrote it on the board. And I told you that array, you just write these 4 points for any big answer that comes from question that comes from the poem. You just write these questions and try to answer them. Okay? And here also. Now you will first complete this. Take somebody's book and complete it once they come. Okay? Since you're the only one, you will only have to read Mr.
Yeah.
Have you done this? The gentleman of Verona?
Yes, ma'am. But there is one problem.
Yeah.
It's very old English, very hard.
Yeah. See, now that you have to live with your text, I keep telling. This book is very interesting. but very long lessons and
Especially like practice, right?
yeah, long lessons and see they have many lessons, but their lessons are short, easy. Your lessons are
I've
few.
got my syllabus.
Got your syllabus? Okay.
What should I tell you?
Uh,
Like I know this first two chapters, and for grammar, I guess, like for grammar, I don't know, like figures of speech most probably. Yeah. And for writing skills, that email writing, and
okay. Will you learn those answers?
Yeah.
Vyom, you learn those answers. He will write those questions. Okay. Two gentlemen of Verona. So you know the story. Do you remember? Okay. So there's this our author. He's gone to Verona. Verona is a place in Italy. Okay. He and his friend had gone there, and there he sees these two boys, small boys.
selling strawberry.
First, he sees them selling strawberries. The next day, he sees them polishing shoes. Third,
Distributing newspapers.
Distributing newspapers. He sees them working throughout the day. And he's very fascinated. And they do all kinds of odd jobs. They take the tourists to see around the places. He helps the author to go and do any, small work. ये लेके आओ, वो लेके आओ. So he is very fascinated, and they are very young. They have nice innocent face, but on that small innocent face, there is some experience. They look very, there is seriousness. Now, he once asked them, like, what do you do? You must be earning so much money because you keep working throughout the day. What do you do with that money? Because he always sees them wearing very simple, old clothes. They don't even eat much. So he thinks they must be really earning good money and they must be probably saving because, in Italy, everybody wants to go to US. Like me. So he thinks that these boys, so he asks, are you saving the money to come to US? So they say, yeah, we would like to come to US, but that's not what we're saving the money for. And then he one day takes them to their home, and then there he finds out what their background is. So let's read what and for whom they were saving all that money. As page 3, the last line is on page 3. As we drove through the foothills of the Alps, two small boys stopped us on the outskirts of Verona. They were selling wild strawberries. Don't buy, warned Luigi, our cautious driver. You will get through much better in Verona. Besides, these boys were like, poor boys.
Yes.
So they were like, you get better fruits in Verona, don't buy from these street boys. He struck his soldiers to convey his disapproval of their shabby appearance. One day, one boy was wearing a worn jersey and cut-off khaki pants. The other, a shortened army tunic gathered in loose folds about his skinny frame. Yet, gazing at the two little figures with their brown skins, tangled hair, and dark, honest eyes, we felt ourselves strangely attached. My companion spoke to the boys, discovered that they were brothers. Nicola, the elder one, was 13. Jacopo, who barely
Jacopo.
Jacopo, who barely came up to the door handle of the car, was nearly 12. We bought their biggest basket, then set off towards the town. So, this para gives us a description of these two young boys. Two boys. What was the name of the elder one?
Yes.
Elder one was
Nicholas.
Nicola, that's right.
Acha, Nicola.
Yeah, Nicola was the elder one. Who was the younger one?
Nicola and
Nicola was the older one. What was the younger one's name?
Acha, Jacopo.
Jacob. And how old was Nicola?
13.
How old was the younger one?
12.
12. Okay. And what was their skin color?
skin color was tan,
brown. They had this because why was it brown?
because of and because they used to sell every day, so
They were
got tan.
outside. They used to live on the streets outside in the hot sun, and they had this uh, brown skin, tangled hair, but very earnest eyes, very sincere eyes. And when you see some people, you somehow like them. And then when you see some people, पता नहीं क्यों गुस्सा आ जाता है. There is always something that connects us. We don't know what. So he says when they looked at these boys, somehow they felt connected. So they spoke to them and they bought the biggest basket of strawberries. Okay, read.
Next morning, coming out of a hotel, we saw our friends bent over shoeshine boxes beside the fountain in the public square doing a brisk business. We watched for a few moments, then as trade slackened, we went over. They greeted us with friendly faces. I thought you picked food for a living, I said. We do many things, sir, Nicola answered seriously. He glanced at us hopefully. Often we show visitors through the town to Juliet's tomb.
Juliet's tomb.
And other places of interest. All right, I smiled. You take us along. As we made the rounds, my interest was again provoked by their remarkable demeanor.
Demeanor is the way they look, the way they carry. And who's Juliet, you know, na? Romeo and Juliet. So Romeo and Juliet were Juliet. So the story took place in Verona. Okay, so he says that we do a lot of. First, he was surprised to see them outside the hotel, sitting on the shoe shining box. Why was he surprised? Because he said, I thought you sold strawberries.
Now he's
seeing them. So he says, no, I do all kinds of work. He also he glanced at us hopefully. He said that we do many things, sir. Nicola answered seriously. He glanced at us hopefully. Why hopefully? अरे हम तो बहुत ज्यादा काम we do all kinds of work and he looked at us hopefully. Right? Yes, that's right. So that he gets, even they are the tourists. So he wanted some work. So he looked here, कुछ काम होगा तो बोल दे. Even he wanted some more work to do. So he looked at it hopefully in the hope that we'll get some more work. He says he also take the tourists around. So immediately he says, oh, okay, come on, take us around, show us different places. Yeah, demeanor. They were
childish enough and in many ways quite artless.
Artless is not cunning, very innocent.
Jacopo was as lively as a squirrel. Nicola's smile was steady and engaging. Yet in both these boys' faces there was a seriousness which was far beyond their eyes. In the week which followed, we saw them frequently, for they proved extremely useful to us. If we wanted a pack of American cigarettes, or seats for the opera, or the name of a good restaurant, Nicola and Jacopo could be referred upon to satisfy our needs. What struck one most was their willingness to work. During these summer days, under the hot sun, they shined shoes, sold fruit, hawked newspapers, conducted tourists round the town, and ran errands.
Errands means they do all small jobs. Small jobs like आज cigarette लेके फिर go buy one ticket for me or go book a cab for me, taxi लेके. So those are all small jobs are errands. One night we came upon them in the windy and deserted square, resting on the stone pavement beneath the lights. Nicola had sat upright, tired, a bundle of unsold newspapers lay at his feet. Jacopo, his head resting upon his brother's shoulder, was asleep. It was nearly midnight. Why are you out so late, Nicola? Waiting for the last bus from Padua. We shall sell all our papers when it comes in. Must you work so hard? You both look rather tired. We are not complaining, sir. But next morning, when I went over to the fountain to have my shoes shine, I said, Nicola, uh,
The way you
yeah. I said, Nicola, the way you and Jacopo work, you must earn quite a bit. You spend nothing on clothes. You eat little enough. When I see you have a meal, it's usually black bread and figs. Tell me, what do you do with your money? He colored deeply under the sunburn. Then grew pale. He looked at the ground. You must be saving up to emigrate to America, I suggested. He looked at me sideways, spoke with an effort. Now, this doesn't require any explanation. They
not
were,
deserted means empty.
yes, deserted means empty. Now, one night,
What is fixed?
figs,
This 19th para black bread and fixed.
fig is anjeev. So, see, even at midnight, he saw them sitting on the pavement waiting for the bus to distribute the newspapers. And next day morning, when he went down to get his shoes shined, the boys were already sitting there. So the boys, he saw that the boys worked a lot. Right in the morning they are there till late in the night. So he wondered what they do with so much money. What do they say?
We should really like to go to United States, but here at present we have other plans. What plans? He smiled uncomfortably. Just plan. Sir, he answered in a low voice. Well, I said, we are leaving on Monday. Is there anything I can do for you before we go? Nicholas shook his head, but suddenly Jacopo said, Sir, he burst out. Every Sunday we make a visit to the country, to Poeta, 30 kilometers from here. Usually we hire bicycles, but tomorrow, since you are so kind, you might send us in your car. I had already told Luigi he might have the Sunday off. However, I answered and tried you out myself. There was a pause. Nicola was staring at his young brother in vexation.
Vexation, he was angry, little annoyed. Annoyed means angry. So he did not like. Why do you think he did not like?
What?
See, he says that is there something that I can do for you? I can do for you because they will be leaving for US the next Monday. So the younger one immediately says that every Sunday we go back home to the country, Poleta. Okay. You can take us there. You can give us the ride. So now he had given off to his driver. So he said, okay, fine, I will drive you there. So, but the older brother, he gets a little upset with his younger brother. Why
He was
does
feeling ashamed that we can ask tourists to like.
yeah, probably he did not want a tourist to.
He want the like he was not thinking that should we take a help. Like,
Yeah, he did not want anyone's obligation. They were quite, even at that young age, they were trying to be very independent and self-reliant.
could be troubling you, sir. We could not think of troubling you, sir. It won't be any trouble. He bit his lip, then in a rather put out tone, he said very well. The following afternoon, we drove to the tiny village set high on the hillside. I imagined that our destinations would be some humble dwellings, but directed by Jacob. We drew up at a large red roof villa, surrounded by a high stone wall. I could scarcely believe my eyes, and before I could recover my breath, my two passengers had leaped from the car.
So here, he says, no, I will take you. Now he had assumed that he will take them to some place where there will be small houses, humble dwellings, and simple small houses. But then he took the directions given by
Yeah.
Jacopo. He was
I
surprised.
was shocked. Like,
He was shocked. Why? Because the car stopped.
at a red roof villa,
Nice
a big
red roof villa with
surrounded by
tall,
ice.
yeah, but high stone walls. And before he could say anything, both of them jumped out of the car and
So who were that two passengers? This Jacob
these two boys. We shall not be long, sir. Perhaps only an hour. Maybe you would like to go to the cafe in the village for a drink. They disappeared beyond the corner of the wall. After a few minutes, I followed. I found a grilled side entrance and determinedly rang the bell. A pleasant-looking woman with steel-rimmed spectacles appeared. I blinked as I saw that she was dressed in the white uniform of a trained nurse. I brought two small boys here. Ah, yes, her face lit up. She opened the door to admit me. Nicolo and Jacopo, I will take you up. She led me through a cool tiled vestibule into the hospital, for hospital the villa had become. At the door of a little cubicle, the nurse paused, put her finger to her lips, and with a smile bade me to look through the glass partition. The understood what happened?
Like, can you explain that 37?
Paragraph 37. Okay, now the boys went inside the villa. Now our author waited for some time, and he then, after a few minutes, he went, rang the bell. He was too curious, obviously. He was wondering whether they live here. So, one woman, nice, stern looking with spectacles, opened the door. When he looked at her clothes, she was wearing a white uniform like a trained nurse. So he said that he got these two boys, and she was like, "Yeah, Jacopo and his brother, come in, I'll take you." He realized that this villa was now turned into a hospital. It was no longer a personal villa; it had become a hospital now. So she took her to the through the vestibule. Vestibule means a passage, you can say. Yeah, a passage, a big passage or lobby. And from there, they went up, and through the glass door, through the glass, she showed them, like, look here, they are sitting there. Now, what does he see through the glass door?
The two boys were seated at the bedside of a girl.
Bedside of a girl.
Bedside of a girl of about 20 who propped up on pillows, wearing a pretty lace jacket, was listening to the chapter. Her eyes soft and tender, one could see at a glance her resemblance to her brothers. A vase of white flowers stood on her table beside a dish of fruit and several books. Won't you go in? The nurse murmured.
Lucia.
Lucia will be pleased to see you. I shook my head and turned away. I felt I could not bear to intrude upon this happy family party. But at the foot of the staircase, I drew up and begged her to tell me all she knew about these books. She was eager to do so. She explained, quite alone in the world, except for this sister Lucia. Their father, a widower, a well-known singer, had been killed in the early part of the war. Shortly afterwards, a bomb had destroyed their home and thrown the three children into the streets. They had always known a comfortable and cultured life. Lucia had herself been training as a singer, and they had suffered horribly from near starvation and exposure to the cold winter.
So, the two boys were sitting there. There was this girl, Lucia, their sister. She was on the bed. And they are given the setting, like she was propped up. She was sitting on the bed, and there was a plate of fruits. There were a vase of nice white flowers. And they were sitting there and talking to her. And she was also very kindly listening to them. So the nurse asked, "Oh no, go meet Lucia. She'll be very happy." Um, does our author go inside?
Yes.
Does he go to meet them?
No, they don't. Like he was seen from that
Yeah,
glass.
but he doesn't go and meet her or them. Why?
because he thought like, why should I go
Yeah, he didn't want to intrude. Intrude means to disturb them.
disturb them or get wrong?
So he don't want to intrude or disturb their happy family. He don't want a third person there. So he was like too emotional. He was actually too emotional to see these two boys every day, every week come to meet his sister. So he came down but he asked the nurse to tell everything about these boys. So she told that what was his father?
A well-known singer,
He was
a
a
widower,
yeah, he
and
was
he
a
was
widower.
killed in that
Yeah.
war.
So he was a widower. That means they had already lost their mother. He was a well-known singer. They had a proper house. However, then he got killed during the war. Unfortunately, the house also got destroyed in the bombing. Then these boys were on the street. They had no shelter. They lived in the, they lived on the streets and they were almost near. They were on near starvation. That means there was nothing to eat. There was no shelter. But before that, they had always experienced a very cultured and comfortable life. They came from a very cultured and comfortable life. Their sister was also training as a singer. For months, they had barely kept themselves alive in a sort of shelter they built with their own hands amidst the rubble. Then, for 3 years, the Germans
What
ruled.
is rubber?
Rubble means the house had come down. तो वो जो सारा कचरा गिरा था ना, the rubble is the broken parts of the house, cement and जो पूरा trash. Then for 3 years, the Germans ruled the city. The boys grew to hate the Germans. When the resistance movement began, secretly to form, they were they were among the first to join. When the war was over and we had peace at last, they came back to their beloved sister and they found her suffering from tuberculosis of the spine. Now, this tuberculosis of the spine was very, very life threatening. Uh, Many people died because of this and left them, handicapped. So most of us know the tuberculosis that affects the breathing, that has breathing problem, the chest. This is another one, and that was very rampant in those days, especially in European countries, tuberculosis of spine. She paused, took a breath. Did they give up? I do not have to answer that question. They brought her here, persuaded us to take her to into the hospital. In the 12 months she has been our patient, she has made good progress. There is every hope that one day she will walk and sing again. See, the boys, they were only 13 and 12. That means they were much, much younger when they had to suffer all this. So they built the shelter for themselves. Then the Germans occupied. Then when there was this resistance army against Germans, these boys signed up to be part of the resistance army. Worked as helpers. Of course, they will not go and fight the war, but then they were like helpers in that resistance army. So they were hardly 8, 9, or 9, 10. And then they came back when the war was over, the peace was established. They came back and to their sister, and what they found is she was suffering from tuberculosis of the spine. Did they give up? Did they say, "अभी हम क्या करेंगे भाई हमारे पास तो पैसा नहीं है, what to do?" No.
So they started this all.
Yeah, so they brought her to this hospital. They requested them to take her in. And apparently, in that 1 year that she had lived there, she had made quite a good progress. Read the next part.
She paused, took a quick breath. Did they give her drink?
Yeah.
Of course, everything is so difficult now. Food so scarce. And dear, we could not keep going unless we charged a fee. But every week, Lucia's brothers have made their payment. She added simply, I don't know what they do. I do not ask. Work is a scared in Verona. But whatever it is, I know they do it well. Yes, I agree, they couldn't do it better. I waited outside until the boys rejoined me, then drove them back to the city. They sat beside me, not speaking. For my part, I did not say a word. I knew they would prefer to feel that they had safely kept their secret. Yet their devotion had touched me deeply. What had not broken their spirit? Their selfless action brought a new nobility to human life, gave promise of a greater hope for human society.
So, so now we know what they did with that money. Why did they work so hard? Because they had to make the payment every week. Obviously, the hospital said everything is so expensive. We can't just not charge these two boys because food is scarce, expensive, medicines are expensive. You have to do everything for the patient, and therefore they had to charge these boys. I don't know what they do, but every week they make their payments to the hospital. So on their way, they came, they sat, the author drew them. Nobody spoke. The boys did not speak, the author also did not speak. Author also did not want them to know that he has found out. The boys also did not want to tell their sob story. You know, see the difference. Have you seen all these reality shows on TV?
Wait, was it?
Big Boss, all those singers, where the singers come, Indian Idol and all that. The major part is there are so many who like to come in, of course it is all made up. They will first come and tell their story. मेरे डैडी ने कैसी मेहनत की, हमारे घर में कैसे खाना नहीं था.
Yes.
How are we concerned? You have come there for us as a singer. So the one who has good meal and the one who doesn't have should be competing equally because you are there as a singer. They love to tell the sob story in order to get the sympathy of the audience. These boys, they did not tell their sob stories. They were actually working hard to saving not for themselves, for their pay to pay off the bills of their sister's hospital cost. They never complained. They never went and cried. पैसा नहीं है, बहन बीमार है. Nothing of that. They were living a very. They were trying to lead a very respectable life. They were small. They were doing all sorts of odd jobs, but they were earning, trying to earn respectfully. That is the difference here. Nobody wants to hear, or rather, people will have sympathy and then they will give them some money, but they did not want sympathy from anyone. So he says, after the war, when the Second World War took place, there was huge destruction. And basically, he says that people started wondering whether we have humanity left. He says that their selfless act brought a new nobility to human life. When you see that these small children working so dedicatedly for their sister, it was a great promise that humanity was still there. If these children can do, many people will do. Made sense? Kuch samjha? Okay. Very nice lesson. Actually, if our all lessons are good, आगे के हम पढ़ते पढ़ते शायद चार लेसन पीरियड लगेंगे हम लोग.
Like no MCQ.
Yeah, MCQ. Have you already marked? So it will go fast. It will be just like a revision. Or do you want to erase it? Forget it. Chalo, tell me. First answer.
What was the reason for the director's disapproval of the narrator buying food from the two boys? Ma'am, that only the boys were untidy and too early dressed.
Yes.
What impressed the narrator the most about the boys? this willingness to work.
Willingness to work.
Jacopo asked the narrator to drive them to Coletta. Why was Nicola uncomfortable with it? Yeah, did not want to ask anything.
Stranger. Okay, yes. Did not want to ask anyone to for favors. Yes.
The narrator decided against going inside Lucia's rooms as yeah, he did not wanted to like disturb.
He did not want to intrude into their privacy.
Yeah, that like I.
Yeah.
The author chose to remain silent on the return journey because he thought the boys would prefer to stay still.
Perfect.
So do I need to read this para?
Have you marked these answers?
No, like first.
So read the para. First, read the para. Read both. Question 1 also, and there is another one on question on page 10.
Mark those answers. Nice lesson, no? You liked it?
What was the meaning of demeanor?
Demeanor is their overall personality. Yeah, to flatter. To praise. To praise.
What is keenly?
Keenly, very sincere, very much. was keenly interested. Means I was very much interested. No, keenly means very much.
On page number 10, that was
Okay.
question 4.
Then,
Yes.
then can we just go and have a long?
Round
Yes.
one walk.
Yes.
Come back quickly. Yeah.
Ah.
There's hardly anyone in that whole mall.
Boss. It's a mall.
One of the second lecture I will wait because I have provided new notebooks and complete that writing which we done in the first class.
You had not copied that day?
No, I have copied, but I still not able to find my that notebooks I buy them.
You bought a new one. Okay, fine.
I'm done.
Done? Last time when I did this with others, I did not. Did the answers on page 10 also?
Yes, ma'am. But not able to do that fourth one. I guess it's for the option A.
Okay, 1 minute. Huh? Okay. First one. We can see that the demeanor of the two boys was remarkable because they were
Young but mature.
very good. What does the writer wish to imply via the comparison of Yokopo to a squirrel?
The writer wished to imply that Jacopo was neither Jacopo was kind as a squirrel.
Okay. Or we can say, squirrel, हमारा ऐसे यहाँ जाती रहती है. So cheerful and lively.
Cheerful and kind as a squirrel.
More than kind, हम लोग को क्या पता kind होती है के लिए? Cheerful and lively. बड़बड़ करेगा, हंसेगा ऐसे. Cheerful and lively.
Later. So one option B 2, 3, 4.
That's right. 2, 3, 4. Guided them, found them. Sold fruits. Yes.
For option 4, select a suitable word. I guess it's provoke.
Provoke. That's right. Classify provoke.
So fifth one.
What does the narrator's remark, the way you and Yokopo work refer to? Open to doing.
Add job.
Yeah, it should be odd jobs, but fine.
How did the narrator's question impact Nicola? It made him feel embarrassed.
That's it. State one aspect that might have led to the narrator to think that the boys must be saving to immigrate to America.
So, ma'am, here the boys were doing several jobs, but like to earn money.
Yes.
But they seemed like they were not spending on like food and jewelry. They were spending very less on that.
Yes, very good. Though the boys worked hard and earned enough money, they did not spend on food, clothes and food. And therefore, in those days, people were eager to immigrate to America. Okay, so write that also. Since people in those days were eager to So वहीं पे लिख दो did not spend on clothes and food. People were since people were eager to immigrate to America.
Why they like, wants to go to US?
People
Like, people why want to go to US?
was it in Italy? Even Italian economy is not as great. So people of Italy always wanted to immigrate to US and they better life. See, things have changed for Indians today a lot. But even earlier, you saw in 90s and in 2000, people were like crazy to go to US. थोड़ा craze अब वो कम हो गया है. You think? Yeah, अभी भी people want to go.
They know like we have no sufficient better like in the past that we have progressed.
Yeah, we have better living conditions. अभी सब कुछ है. That we have best of two worlds, as we can say. You want, you have every game available, everything that is available there is available here. All brands, all kind of food. At the same time, we have comforts of काम करने के लिए लोग हैं.
In that like US we have to do
Everything on the phone.
What was the fourth one? Which was the following remarks so that the narrator observed things
Keenly.
You must
Yeah.
saving emigrate to America. Option D.
No, he noticed that whenever they ate only. See, when I see you have a meal, it's usually black bread and figs. उसका keen observation था ना, बहुत अच्छे से वो observe करता था. Keenly means minutely. अभी इतना कौन देखता है वो लोग क्या खा रहे हैं? But he had noticed that whenever they ate only bread and figs. So वहाँ पे भी they used to not spend much. What does the sunburn help to deduce about Nicola?
So, a woman worked hard under the hot sun.
That's right. He worked hard under the hot sun that had caused the sunburn. At the same time, the author's question embarrassed him, and therefore he became turned red.
But because embarrassed because with the narrators.
Yeah. So write both the points. Worked hard in the sun and embarrassed by author's question.
Ma'am, now we'll do second chapter.
No, Raja. We'll do all these questions. See, we have lots of questions. We'll not do all. Mrs. Packletide's Tiger, even that lesson is there for you.
Yes.
And the poem, the first poem.
That was dog one.
Yeah, Frog and the Nightingale. The Frog and the Nightingale, no? So, nice poem. We'll do that first.
This one we have done in physics and like similar.
Okay. Answer the following questions briefly. 7th wala karenge. Why was the author surprised to see Nicola and Jacopo working as a shoe shine boys?
So, the author surprised to see Nicola and Jacopo working at Sushine because on the first day he saw that these two boys were selling wild strawberries, and in the second day he sees that they are working as a Sushine.
Okay, because he always thought that they earn money selling fruits. Okay. Thought they earn money selling fruit. The story is full of surprises. Briefly mention any two such instances. Which two instances will you tell?
Ma'am, one was like he sees the boys like on the second day at the Sushine,
Yes.
and the second one about the story which nurse
Yeah, so when
like
Santa.
no,
Okay, so and when the author takes the children, two boys, to their
Lucia to the sister
to their Lucia. What's the name of the
Lucia
Okay, to Lucia, he was surprised
to
to
see that like he thought that these boys were living in a like slum area, but
right, humble dwellings. He thought they must be living in humble dwellings or small houses.
and he like shocked that they were living in a red roof
Villa, but they made his car stop near a red roof villa with tall,
tall and
high walls. और red roof villa भी चल जाएगा. Red roof villa will also do.
high stone wall surrounded by
High stone wall. Okay, good. Why were the boys in the deserted square at night? At night, क्या करने के लिए थे वहाँ पे? Remember? They were sitting there for
waiting
They were
the
waiting.
last bus to
Yeah.
Padua.
Padua. They were
So
waiting.
because they wanted that all the papers should be sold in this
So they were
class.
sitting there to sell the papers to the passengers traveling by the bus to Padua. Okay. What will you write? Right there only. So yaad rahega. Wanted to sell the newspapers to the passengers traveling by the bus to Padua. What character stress trait does that exhibit?
I want this answer.
Okay, they were hardworking, they were tenacious. Like the word tenacious. Tenacious means they were not ready to give up. So they were hardworking, they were tenacious, and prepared to do
All the kinds of
prepared to do all kind of work
to earn money.
to earn money. Very good. Okay, read the next question.
The narrator asked the boys, "Must you work so hard? You both look rather tired." The boys replied, "We are not complaining, sir. What do you learn about the boys today?" So, ma'am, so in this question,
Same third वाला ही आंसर. एक दो sentences prepare करके रखना. The boys were
And the boys
hardworking.
were hard work, tenacious, prepared to do any kind of work to earn money. So they were trying to say that we don't have any objection. So
Yes.
objection. So we are not right, but because we need to earn money, and that time we did not know the story why they are earning money.
But then you will write the boys were hardworking and tenacious. इसको 3 lines में complete करना है. देखो, the boys were hardworking, they were tenacious, full stop. They were prepared to do all kinds of work to earn money. अभी यहाँ पे तुम और add करोगे that they did not complain or try to
Be knows.
try to seek sympathy from others. They did not complain in order to earn money or seek sympathy from others.
They did not
Complain or seek, SEEK, seek sympathy from others. Support the opinion that the narrator was kind and sensitive. How do we know that the narrator was kind and sensitive?
because he had that two boys to take them to the Poleta,
Yes.
and also he did not disturb them while.
See, right from the beginning, we come to know, right from the beginning of the story, we come to know that the author was, narrator was kind and sensitive. When he saw two young boys selling strawberries, he bought a largest basket from them. जरूरत नहीं थी वो रहे चलो जब निकल जाओ, but he felt अरे दो छोटे बच्चे, they are selling. He took great interest in these two boys when he saw them next day. Employed them to. Who will take the small children as a guide to show the city? You will obviously go with the older one, but appointed them to show them around the city. Gave them all kinds of odd jobs like buying cigarettes, booking tickets, then what more? Okay, booking tickets, thus help them earn money, thus giving them a work in order to earn money. He also took them to their
Sisters.
yeah.
Like.
What is the name of the place where he took them?
Poleta.
Poleta. He also took them to Poleta in his own car. He drove them to Poleta in his own car. After going there, did not intrude, did not disturb their privacy. Okay, so that tells us that he was a sensitive man. You have to write all these points. Huh? Did you remember?
Yes, ma'am. Like in the second class, I will write it. Okay.
Now this second class की जरूरत ही नहीं है क्योंकि अभी और 45 minutes है. So you.
Ma'am, till 9 o'clock we have this class from 9 to.
Yeah, 7:30 to 9. Yeah, 9 to 9:15 you have break, no? Yeah. So, but we have plenty of time. I'm not going to let you sleep. I mean, rest. What I meant is rest. Let's finish this. No, नहीं तो कल next time आके we'll have to again do this same thing.
So we have to do this all the questions 8. Like.
See, some questions you will just write in the textbook. Some questions you will write in the notebook. Okay. I'll give you some questions. Okay, 1 minute. No.
Phrases
means a general activity. वो इतना आता नहीं है. That is for your understanding of the language. So we write the questions first. Time होगा तो we'll do that.
Mom, should I like uniform to wash?
क्या?
No.
What?
Should I do wash?
Yeah. Go. I'll write the questions in the meantime. There. I was wondering where you are. About to ask her. बाबा को वॉशरूम में आना है.
Name the two boys.
What were their names?
Nicola and Ujola.
Yoko. Yeah.
Okuda.
Yeah, that's right. How old were they?
13 and 12.
तुम तो कोई भी पेपर आ जाओ लिख सकते हो. Both communicative and तुम्हारे आंसर्स बाय हार्ट हो गए? लर्न हो गए? You will be sitting on the first bench. ताकि I can see what you are writing. In spite of telling 10 times, you did not write those points. It was the hot. You know my CHOUGH hot. Hot was it? He didn't help. Did जब use करते हो, whenever you use did, the next verb that you use will be in present tense. Didn't help. Cancel ed. He would lose. LOSE. He would lose. He would lose. He would lose. LOSE. He would के बाद lose आएगा. His faith in God. And would that okay. And starved due to no money. ये ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा. His family might full stop. Then his family might starve due to no money. He signed the letter by God. He signed the letter as God because he did not want the credit for his good work. So you write yeah, I'll write it. Family stop due to lack of money. He signed the letter in the name of God as he did not wish to take credit for his good work. Lencho का L-U-B Lencho. Why does the postmaster send money to Lencho? Why does he sign the letter God? That is the answer. He did not want to take credit for his good work, and he also wanted Lencho.
Maths.
Your Mukul? Okay,
That
the
is
first
first
one.
one. Topper.
But English also he writes well, huh? Essay वैसे don't say. He writes answers.
बहुत करता 95% मिले थे यार. What is correct है मेरे?
ग्राफ फोटो सीरीज से बदलता है. ऐसे पहला
हाँ,
लास्ट में
पेपर था.
हाँ मैम ने माना कि मेरे सामने बोली थी मूवी को 50 हो.
Hello, lecture to
तो
believe
मैम बात
that
करेगी कल देगी जब सप्ताह में.
God had said.
Ever seen the 14?
Okay.
नहीं मुझे वो पता है मैंने क्रॉस चेक कर तो 14.
Yeah. Remember this answer. You're making grammatical errors.
मैम only these two
नहीं बाबा नहीं करेंगे. इतना भी आसान नहीं.
देखो सब पेपर. इसके बाद भी दिन कर. इनको मिलने के बाद
बाहर में हो रहा है.
अभी
तू भी आप पेपर दे दे.
मुझे मेरे पास
मेरे
वो तो वेबसाइट भी है. हम ये ग्रामर और इसमें पार्टीशन
जरूरी
करना है.
नहीं जरूरी नहीं है. See, this will be 2 marks. This will be 2 marks. You have 2 marks, 3 marks questions, na?
नहीं I was thinking about that first.
अच्छा.
I'm doing like questions or only answers.
Write the question. How will you know क्या लिख रहे हो? There's one more question. Do you think the boys looked after Lucia willingly? Give reason for your answers. If that question is for 3 marks, तो क्या लिखोगे? The boys, the only family the boys had was their sister Lucia. Okay. When they came back after the war, they found that Lucia was suffering from tuberculosis of the spine.
They started earning money.
They did not give up.
Yeah, they did not give up. They started.
What did they first do? They took her to the
hospital.
They took her to the
And
hospital.
requested them to like admit her.
Yes.
And then
Then they came to
and it was very
Verona
expensive because of the medicines and all that
in order to cover her expenditure.
So
They started
hard working to earn money. So they started selling newspapers, became shoeshine boys, and
took the tourists around
to
the city,
around and done small errands.
errands, ran small errands for people to earn money.
And they did, to save money, they did not like spend much money on food
Themselves.
and clothes,
Yes.
like themselves. And for helping her sister, they
And they were always cheerful. He calls him like a squirrel. They were always cheerful, never complained or tried to gain sympathy from others. Okay, so you will write all that they were always cheerful.
This answer would be like third one.
This answer would be the combination of 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I'm not asking you to write that, but will you remember if it is for big? Who's your maths teacher? Write the question and answer. Question and answer.
I've written on the question.
Why were you absent for 2 days?
One day he missed one lecture and attended one lecture.
So you should call.
Extra lecture is not much extra lecture, so what the
अरे वो तेरा है दूसरों का नहीं
Class average 40, students 80, classmates 100, and separate. Minus 50. Zero. As we last
See, but I need to remember, but 2 marks you have to write 4 sentences. तो full stop देके उसको break करके लिखना है. अगर तुमने पहले वाला एक इकट्ठा लिख दिया है fine. मगर
actually
रिटर्न
last question you
see many times you write I used to say यार मैंने तो सब कुछ लिखा था मुझे मिलते मार्क्स नहीं थे. ये एक स्टैंडर्ड रूल यार मुझे याद है. 2 marks का क्वेश्चन में 4 sentences बनने चाहिए. So break the sentence and मत लगाना. एक sentence लिखना फिर दूसरा sentence कट करके उसको दूसरा sentence बनाना. If you write and then teacher also loses the link. So list the odd jobs done by the boys. So the boys sold quite
The jobs
strongly.
done by the two boys who were selling home newspaper became shoeshine boys, and also were tourist guides,
हाँ तो तुमने सारा एक ही इसमें लिख दिया. So you shouldn't do that. So what you will do is the boys sold strawberries to the passengers. Good start. Then they also worked as shoeshine boys near the fountain. Then
They
they
did mention your fountain.
so then they sold newspapers at night to the passengers traveling to Padua. Then they took the people around the city to show Julian's tomb and other places. ऐसा एक एक सेंटेंस बनाने का है. अगर वो 2 मार्क्स के लिए है तो you remember?
chemistry का tension है chemistry. Yeah, maths है.
कोई नहीं आएगा इतनी जल्दी.
Last time I used to think.
Yeah.
सर की फेवरेट बहुत अच्छा है.
Who's your favorite?
And one girl come only for maths. She sits in the first bench and answers every question.
Who's that?
Akshay.
And he lets her sit in the first.
No, she sits
was
there.
sitting. I was. अभी वो नीलेश और अनुराग अकेले पकड़ फिर इन्विजिलेटर भी नहीं था, नीलेश ने पूरा अनुराग पाया।
तो उसको 67% किसने करा?
किसको?
अरे तो discuss मत कर, let him write the answers because I want to discuss one more question after this because that will be the gist of all these answers. It makes your class line अलग से add करना है. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Go.
9 o'clock when the class ends.
Yes.
You wrote how many questions did you write?
The second. Like I cut it and I'm writing again and explain.
अभी इसको तुम 2 mark के लिए कैसे लिखोगे? Because actually the answer is he was cheerful and
Cheerful, never complaining.
yeah,
Boys, never complaining.
this. He calls Yokopo a squirrel because Yokopo was a cheerful and
Never complaining
boy. Okay, तो उसको 2 marks के लिए कैसे लिखोगे? Yokopo was the younger of the 2 boys. Okay, he worked along with his brother and from daybreak to till midnight. Okay, but he was still very cheerful, happy and hardworking. He therefore called him a squirrel. Okay, ऐसे वो याद रखना 1 लाइन का आंसर है लेकिन इसको ऐसे तुम ऐड करोगे 2 मार्क्स के लिए. Are you stuck on some word?
अधिकार है ना हम अधिकार है ना ईमेल आया था मुझे जीमेल तो चल गया.
How many lessons did they finish in your school?
English.
Mom, only
English.
this gentleman and then factory right, and in grammar we have done figures of speech, and now we start with that prop, and also we have done email.
Now मतलब अभी तो छुट्टी है ना?
हाँ,
Better to go. Higher analysis, Nelson Mandela, triangle surgery, chief story, and grammar, reported speech, and calligraphy.
And informal letter.
You don't have informal letter.
No, formal letter.
No.
Letter of complaint.
Next week also it will be the same. He'll come at 7:30 and he'll become late. If you want to give him company, come and sit here.
That's so that.
Time 10 are we?
And
From
1 minute.
so,
it did ring the bell.
It's still 1 minute. Oh no, 9:01 हो गया.
और एक हमारा plan.
Bye.
मैं तो बहुत ज्यादा question था.
मैं क्या आंसर दूंगा?
तो आंसर दे. So,
सबको चांस देना चाहिए इसे आंसर देने के लिए. ये he wants to give all the answers.
अभी कैसे स्पीक करोगे? कैसे? एक मिनट.
Monday.
ये सब कैसे है क्या? चाय पी
Paper मिला? Paper मिला? Maths.
चाय पी
पैसे अच्छे हो गए.
हाँ बस ना.
चल ना.
और ये बाद में तो केमिस्ट्री का कब आएगा?
करेक्शन है. तो मेल नहीं आया. अबे हम लोग सुबह से आए.